Na mtazamaji, kwingineko ni kuwa seneta wa kaunti ya Makueni Bwana Mutula Kilonzo anatoa taarifa moja mtazamaji, ambayo nitakuwa nakupa taarifa zaidi kuhusiana na tukio hilo moja kwa moja. Tupate sauti yake.
National interest and Article 203, the national government has defined anything possible that they think can be national interest as national interest, and thereafter determine that whatever is left as a balance becomes share to counties, which is a grave mistake, because the constitution is very clear that the country is divided into 47 counties, not constituencies, not wards, counties. So why is devolution not a national interest in division of revenue? It should be. In the constitution, it also talks about 15% of recently allocated. That article has been abused, and let me explain why. It has been abused because it talks about last audited accounts. The last audited account for this country are in 2015-2016, which is not a trillion. The budget of this country is now at 3 trillion. The collectible revenue is at 1.8 trillion. Upon devolution and then the functions of counties, unknown to many, and one county has now suggested to return all the seconded national government officials to Nairobi. Why? Because every county is grappling with a wage bill. The 30% that we have allocated for development, ladies and gentlemen, is not enough to spur development in counties. Not when you're dividing the revenue on 936 million on 47. So the function of health has been devolved 93%, except the purchase of drugs by KEMSA, except the purchase of drugs. But the budget of national government on health is over 60 billion shillings at national level. So if you marry, to answer the Vice Chair, provisions of the Constitution, 96 allocation of revenue, 203 national interest, 203(1) division of revenue, 216 and 217 allocation of resources, 187(2) which says functions, resources must follow functions, and 219 that says the minute we pass the schedule that it should be released to counties monthly. If you marry all those sections of the Constitution, articles of the Constitution, the problem about devolution, Chairman, is not legislation. The problem is national resources in Nairobi being hoarded by national government, and functions that are supposed to be devolved, including agriculture, including dams. The national government is doing boreholes. National government is doing water pans, instead of that money being allocated to counties. And therefore, to answer those questions and what the Vice Chair has asked, the national government says, and the President has said, that so far they are allocating 33%. It is 33% of 936. We in the Senate have proposed you do 40. Assuming you are to do 40% of the current revenues, counties in the 30% allocated for development, counties would get enough resources to spur development. When we were in Uasin Gishu County and others, they're spending 50% of their resources, 50% of their resources on health alone. Yet half of those resources, not half, the 93% of resources on health is still in Nairobi. And even worse, members of this task force, this year alone, the national government has ensured that they send the recurrent expense, which is salaries, on time. But all the funds relative to development have all been sent a quarter late. What will happen in the month of June, and has happened since 2013, the Treasury releases all the balances. 1 billion shillings is sent to the County Revenue Fund on 26th of June. PFM says you cannot procure without funds. Now, if you look at the procurement cycle and you start procuring on 26th of June and the financial year ends on 30th of June, how much can you do? Nothing. So that money is then rebudgeted, and that is why counties have had problems. So, Chair, be proud to say that what is going to save counties is not legislation. We can pass as much legislation as we want in the Senate, but until the function of 187.2, where resources must follow the functions that are devolved under Schedule 4, devolution will fall on the sword that is being sharpened by Treasury. Thank you.
Na mtazamaji, bila shaka seneta wa kaunti ya Makueni Bwana Mutula Kilonzo Jr pale akitoa